toothpaste go, baby? That shit made in China. What the fuck's going on? Lotion. Highly recommended from the Dollar Tree. Dollar Lotion. I need some deodorant too. Yeah, boy. Peace. That shit brings down the value of your community, man. Should have bought more of these. I guess they come in little packs. Pretty cool, huh? I know I'm gonna need some sugar later when I go to work. So I want to talk a little bit about the book I'm reading. Efficacy. The self-belief that you can achieve, you know, what you want, your intended goal that you could reach. You could accomplish your intended, your desired goal, your desired purpose. Self-efficacy that you could achieve, and you could have the belief that happiness and life and peace and prosperity is deserving of yourself. And that's also tied into self-respect, you know, having values and morals for yourself. And within the first, I'm about to read it right now while I'm waiting for the bus, but for the first chapter and a half, in the first chapter, the author gives examples of how people self-sabotage, even if you're a high achiever, or let's say you actually do accomplish a specific task or goal that you had intended for yourself. But that even in happiness, a lot of people feel anxiousness in happiness because they don't feel they deserve it. That within their subconscious mind, at the root core and the foundation of their self-esteem level, if you don't feel you deserve happiness or that level of achievement you have reached, sooner or later you're going to self-sabotage it. Examples are, if you're like a boss and someone under you comes up with a good idea and you have a low self-esteem, you're going to feel insecure about yourself. And you're going to self-sabotage yourself, or you're going to create a bad name for yourself. Other examples the author illustrated was just examples of people reaching a certain level and not feeling adequate enough, or not having the self-efficacy to actually believe that they deserve where they're at, and they self-sabotage themselves with personal relationships, you know, career positions, and also I think in the second chapter that I'm reading now, the author mentioned if you have a high level of self-esteem, that let's say you're comfortable in this certain area of your career and you change levels of career or change positions in your career, just that self-belief alone will make it easier for you. And having that healthy level of self-esteem, a person with a higher level of self-esteem will be able to adjust, will be able to cope more, and will be able to better cope with life's changes and life's challenges. A lot of times when you become a manager or you become a boss or an owner, there's a lot of things you don't know and you have to learn. And if you don't have a high self-esteem and a self-belief in yourself and self-respect for yourself, you're going to find those challenges to be self-sabotaging or difficult and unachievable, or obstacles that you can't overcome. As opposed to someone with a higher self-esteem level, they're going to reflect back on, hey, well, where was I at before I learned this career that I'm comfortable in now? You remember how you overcame past obstacles, and you remember that strength it took to do that, and that strength arises again within yourself to conquer new obstacles. And it just reminds me of like jobs that I had in the union, being part of a music group, being part of an art collective, and being an overachiever but not having a good level of self-esteem within myself, having too much of a higher competition level amongst those that were on my own team, always comparing myself to others around me never allowed me to really find that true artistic level within myself, that true creative spirit, because I was always overthinking about who was judging me and judging myself and comparing myself and feeling threatened, and yeah, it's a great book. I'm going to read it. I miss the warm. Have been warm this past week, like the past 2 days, maybe the past 3. It's kind of cold now that I'm sweaty. I miss you, Halloween. I was missing my daughter yesterday while I was at work. Like, I miss her every day, but yesterday was to the point where I was like, I miss my daughter, And you guys probably, if you guys are all over the internet, like if you watch a lot of YouTube and you follow the popular culture, like the popular podcasts, I'm sure you've heard some popular people say this recently, to start like kind of seeing that people who are like assholes or people who are down on their luck or their life's kind of, you can kind of tell they struggle mentally, or they don't have confidence within themselves, or they're rude, or they're mean, or they're grumpy and bitter. You kind of start seeing them with empathy and compassion and sympathy. Like, if you realize that these people were, as we grow old, we get old and ugly, but we were all once fresh and loved and looked at with hope. We were all babies before. And yesterday I had that idea, like, damn, a couple people that came into my present yesterday, I had that thought, like, damn, this person was a baby before. It's kind of sad that no one loved them to the full potential that they could have become. And I even thought about my mother, that she also was a baby, and it kind of makes me sad, Yeah, it's fucking cold. There's actually some beauties. It's Wednesday, so the hiking trail is not that packed. It took me a little while to get up. I mean, I did exercise and I worked an 8-hour shift yesterday. I went to bed a little after 1, so I was kind of just enjoying my afternoon, I guess. And it's probably going to be 2 o'clock soon. My therapist is supposed to call me. I think it was at 2 o'clock. And anyway, have a good day. Some beauties though.
Ameliorate.
So I'm on page 83. I don't know what chapter this is, but I know I'm past part 2. It's a real good book, even for parents, especially if you're a parent. Like, get your head out of your ass. Stop living unconsciously. That's what this book says. I'm using the words. But stop being a dumbass. I'm using my own words. And wake up, especially if you're a parent. You know, think about your kid. Think about the shit you wish somebody would have taught you. It's a good book. And I had a good therapy session with my therapist today. Over the phone, but I'll take what I can get.